Breaking news spreads across the world. The Black Dragon Guild has failed to clear the 40th floor of the tower. Once again, they return empty-handed. But while an entire guild failed one, Hunter succeeded alone. The rank 1 hunter known to the public as the Flame Emperor. On the television screen, the Flame Emperor stands calmly after defeating a boss by himself. Reporters surround him and praise his record, calling him the pride of hunters. Instead of smiling, the Flame Emperor looks annoyed. He interrupts them and demands they stop calling him by that title, saying the name is embarrassing and that they should just use his real name, Yu Suha. The reporters freeze and struggle to respond. Even while being watched by the entire world, the Flame Emperor speaks without restraint. Yet despite his attitude, the world still treats him as the greatest hunter of this era. The scene then shifts to a small single-room apartment. A weak hunter watches the broadcast in silence. This is Kim Gunja. He is not famous, he is not powerful, and he does not stand out in any way. As Kim watches the Flame Emperor on the screen, one emotion fills his heart. Envy. Not admiration and not respect. Only envy? He mutters that he envies him. Kim opens his phone and scrolls through hunter communities. The internet is overflowing with reactions. Some people defend the Flame Emperor, saying strong people are allowed to act freely. Others criticize him for being rude and arrogant. Arguments fill every post, but Kim keeps leaving the same comment again and again, saying he wants to become just like the Flame Emperor. Then another topic spreads online. People claim the Flame Emperor may be close to the Saintess, a famous hunter loved for her kindness and beauty. When Kim sees her image, he feels even more frustrated. Strength, fame, respect,
wealth, fame, power,
and even romance seem to belong to one man. Kim puts his phone down, and the room is shown clearly. Every wall is covered with newspaper clippings and magazine articles about the Flame Emperor, records of solo clears and rank 1 achievements from many years ago. This is not simple admiration. It is obsession built over time. Surrounded by these articles, Kim finally admits the truth. He does not want money. He wants success. He wants to become someone others look up to. Back on the television, a reporter asks the Flame Emperor to give advice to young hunters who dream of success. The Flame Emperor answers calmly, saying that those who are meant to succeed will succeed regardless. Then he looks straight into the camera and warns them not to stand in his way. After that, the Flame Emperor turns his back and leaves. Kim feels anger rise inside him. He accepts his reality. He is only an F-class hunter, the weakest rank. Still, he shouts his desire into the empty room. He wants to succeed, and he wants a powerful skill. Suddenly, a golden light appears in front of him. A skill. Awakening has begun. Golden light means a very high rank. A message appears saying the tower grants him a skill because of his deep envy. The light turns into a card, but when Kim reads it, his expression freezes. Using this skill will end his life. On that day, Kim gains an extremely powerful skill, and at the same time, realizes it may be the worst skill imaginable. This moment marks the true beginning of his story. Skill awakening is something that makes many hunters feel hopeless, because everyone awakens in a different way. Some people train for years before it happens. Some suddenly hear a strange voice, and others gain abilities easily after entering the tower. There is no fairness in how skills are given. Many kind and hardworking hunters struggle because they lack talent, while others live comfortably thanks to powerful skills despite having bad personalities. The Flame Emperor represents this unfair world perfectly. From Kim's point of view, it feels like the Flame Emperor is playing a game where luck itself is a skill, while his own life feels like a terrible random chance game where everything goes wrong. Filled with frustration, Kim drinks heavily and wanders the streets. Without knowing where he is going, he vomits in a dark alley and mutters that false hope hurts more than having no hope at all. His powerful skill feels like a cruel joke. Normally, after awakening a skill, a hunter must report it to the bureau, but Kim refuses. He cannot imagine explaining that he gained his skill through envy and that using it would end his life. Ashamed and exhausted, he keeps walking and stumbles into a quiet alley, thinking about collapsing there. Suddenly, he hears a woman scream. The sound instantly clears his mind. This is not imagination. Someone is in real danger. Kim carefully moves closer and hears voices. A woman calling out to the Flame Emperor, and a man answering calmly. At that moment, Kim realizes he should have left immediately. The man explains that someone secretly poisoned his drink. The woman denies it and claims she only wanted to work together. As Kim listens, he realizes who they are. The man is the Flame Emperor himself, and the woman is the Saintess, a famous hunter loved by the public. There is no warmth between them, only fear and tension. The Flame Emperor accuses the Saintess of betraying him and restrains her. He tells her she can survive if she answers honestly. Then he asks who ordered the poisoning, and mentions the Black Dragon Witch. The Saintess hesitates, and then admits the truth. The Flame Emperor calmly accepts her answer, and ends her without hesitation, leaving no trace behind. Kim watches everything in shock, and finally understands that the Flame Emperor is not a hero, but a dangerous man. He tries to leave quietly, but accidentally makes a sound. The Flame Emperor notices him immediately. Kim runs in panic, but is quickly stopped and badly injured. The Flame Emperor approaches him calmly and questions him. Kim begs and insists he knows nothing and was only passing by. The Flame Emperor does not believe him and warns that he will be ended as well, desperate to survive. Kim brings up the lie detection skill the Flame Emperor mentioned earlier and asks him to use it to confirm the truth. The Flame Emperor pauses and then reveals the truth. That skill never existed and was only a bluff used to scare people. The Flame Emperor suddenly laughs and reveals the truth. The lie detection skill was never real. It was only a bluff used to scare the Saintess. Kim is shocked and realizes he believed it without question. When Kim accuses him of acting without proof, the Flame Emperor calmly responds that he already confirmed the betrayal in his own way. He explains that if he had not acted first, the Saintess would have ended him the next day. The Flame Emperor speaks with complete confidence, saying he knows everything because of a secret method, but refuses to explain further. Kim notices something unsettling in his eyes. It is not madness, but absolute certainty. For a brief moment, the Flame Emperor seems convinced that Kim is innocent. He even pats Kim's head and smiles. Kim feels a moment of relief, but it does not last. The Flame Emperor calmly points out that Kim recognized him and witnessed what happened in the alley. Because of that, he decides Kim cannot be allowed to leave. The Flame Emperor introduces himself and places his hand on Kim's head. Intense heat follows, and Kim's life comes to an end. As everything fades, Kim's past is revealed. He was an orphan, named Kim, given a hopeful name by his caretaker, yet he lived an unlucky and ordinary life. System messages appear, stating that conditions have been met and that skills are being copied. Kim sees countless lights representing different abilities. Most are weak and easy to reach, but one golden light moves faster than the rest. Kim reaches out and selects it. Moments later, Kim wakes up in his small apartment, completely unharmed. At first, he believes everything was a dream, but when he turns on the television, he sees the same broadcast from before, the Flame Emperor standing on screen giving the same interview. Kim checks the date and realizes time has returned to the previous day. Online communities show the same posts as before, but Kim's own comments are missing, confirming that he has truly returned to the past. Kim opens his skill window and sees his original, dangerous skill again. But now there's a second golden skill beside it, a new ability he did not have before. The new skill allows him to return to the past whenever his life ends. At that moment, Kim finally understands the Flame Emperor's secret. The Flame Emperor has been repeating time using the same ability. That is how he always knows the future and avoids danger. Watching the interview again, Kim no longer sees the Flame Emperor as a hero. He sees him as an enemy, holding the same type of ability the Flame Emperor has. Kim realizes they are now standing at the same starting point. This realization marks the beginning of Kim's resolve to fight back. After returning to the previous day once again, Kim is filled with one clear emotion: revenge. But unlike before, he forces himself to calm down. He already understands that facing the Flame Emperor in a normal way is impossible. The gap in strength is too large, and even if the Flame Emperor is taken down once, he would simply return to the past, making direct confrontation meaningless. Kim realizes that even worse than losing would be being captured and trapped forever. Unable to escape, this makes reckless action useless. Kim spends the entire day locked inside his small room, carefully thinking and planning. He studies every article and interview about the Flame Emperor that covers his walls, searching for even the smallest weakness. Hour after hour passes without progress, but Kim refuses to give up. Eventually, While rereading an old interview, something catches his attention. The Flame Emperor once mentioned that he awakened his first skill 11 years ago on his birthday, while he was still on the first floor of the tower. This small detail becomes the key. Kim realizes that the only way to truly stop the Flame Emperor is to reach a point in time before he ever gained that power. While Kim is thinking, chaos suddenly breaks out outside. A massive fire has started in the city. On the first floor of the tower, residents panic and rush to help. Kim also goes outside and quickly understands what happened. The timing is exact. This fire was started to erase evidence related to the Saintess. Soon, powerful hunters arrive to control the situation, including high-ranking figures who are known for protecting civilians. As they work together, they casually mention the Saintess, wondering why she has not appeared yet. Unaware of the truth, then the Flame Emperor arrives at the scene. Acting annoyed and treating the disaster lightly, he refuses to help unless he gains something in return. Even during a crisis, many people still defend his behavior, believing he is honest and heroic. Watching this, Kim finally becomes certain the Flame Emperor is not just his enemy. He is a danger to everyone. Kim makes a decision and runs directly into the flames, ignoring the shouts of others trying to stop him. His life ends in the fire, and as expected, he returns to the previous day in his room. This confirms that his ability works exactly as he thought. Kim checks his status and realizes that because he is only an F-class hunter, there is no penalty for using the skill. This gives him confidence. Kim understands that while he lacks strength, authority, and trust, he has one advantage. He can return after every time he ends his life. Kim then forms a dangerous but clear plan. He will repeatedly return to the past one day at a time, until he reaches 11 years ago, before the Flame Emperor ever awakened his power. Kim calculates that he have to repeat that for 4,050 times. Even knowing how painful this path will be, he does not hesitate. He takes out his knife and stabs himself. If this is the only way, then he will endure it. Kim decides that he will repeat this process as many times as necessary, even if it takes thousands of attempts, because this is the only certain way to stop the Flame Emperor. So yeah, at this point, Kim is basically counting days backward like a madman. 4,048, 4,047, 4,046, because his plan is simple but insane. He wants to erase the entire history of one person, the Flame Emperor. That kind of legend is not made in a few days, so of course, it will not disappear easily. But Kim knows something others do. Not every time his life ends, the world goes back one day. And honestly, it hurts every single time, but he forces himself to keep going. Whenever he feels like stopping, he remembers everything, the pain, the unfairness, and especially the way the Flame Emperor acted after destroying the city like everyone else. Was nothing that anger keeps Kim moving forward again and again, and slowly something crazy starts happening. The newspaper. Articles on his wall begin disappearing. One by one achievements. The Fade records vanish, and the future itself starts cracking. It is like watching a huge statue slowly fall apart, piece by piece. The room becomes emptier, the walls turn blank, and even Kim himself becomes younger until one day there is nothing left. No articles, no legend, nothing. He realizes he has returned 11 years into the past, a whole month before the Flame Emperor ever awakened his power. And here's the important part. Kim does not hesitate at all. He already prepared for this. During his repeats, he learned everything: habits, schedules, and behavior. Back when the Flame Emperor was just an ordinary F-class hunter, dreaming of getting rich, Kim waits in a quiet hunting area and sets up a simple trap. He covers himself in monster blood and pretends to be injured. When the young hunter shows up, Kim asks for help, and immediately the truth comes out. Instead of helping, the man demands payment, searches Kim's pockets, and shows his real nature: greedy, selfish, and cruel. Even after pretending to help, he decides to leave Kim behind and take everything. Seeing this, Kim finally understands something important. This person was always like, this power did not change him. It only removed the limits. When the man pulls out a blade, Kim stops acting weak. He moves instantly, knocks him off balance, and strikes back. Kim does not argue. He does not explain. He just acts. The same knife that ended Kim thousands of times is finally used for what it was meant to do, stopping the monster before it ever exists. So here's what's going on in this moment. Kim is completely focused. He does not want to give this guy even a single chance to react. People always said that hunters awaken more easily when they are close to losing their life. And honestly, after everything Kim has been through, he does not think that idea is fake anymore. After all, he himself awakened a skill just from extreme jealousy. So he stays alert and keeps his grip tight. What really makes Kim angry, though, is not just the pain or what happened before. It is something much more disgusting to him. Before sending Kim back, the Flame Emperor casually told him his name like it was some kind of dramatic moment, like a warrior introducing himself before a final clash. Kim cannot stand that. To him, it feels arrogant and fake, as if the Flame Emperor thought he looked cool doing it. Someone who ended a witness just for being there does not get to act noble. That thought pushes Kim over the edge, and without hesitation, he strikes again. There is no sound, and no one around to see it. The place is isolated and quiet. Kim looks up at the sky, barely steady on his feet, and realizes it is finally over. The man who would have become the Flame Emperor is gone. Not a legend, not a hero. Just a cruel person stopped before he could grow. Kim lets out a long breath and feels his mind calm for the first time in a long while. But before he can relax, he notices movement nearby. A pack of wolves has gathered, drawn by the smell in the air. These are not normal wolves, and Kim knows he cannot handle them. So he carefully steps back, retrieves his wallet, and leaves the body behind, offering it as a distraction. Once the wolves move in, Kim quickly leaves the area. Afterward, he cleans himself, changes clothes, and makes sure there is nothing suspicious about him before heading back to the city. And just like that, no one notices anything. Guards do not stop him. People do not question him, and life goes on like nothing happened. Later, Kim sits in a bar, drinking quietly. Watching the news, there is no report about a missing hunter. And that makes sense, because weak hunters disappear all the time. No one cares, and that is when it finally sinks in. It is really over. Kim orders another drink and spends hours calming himself down until the sun starts to set. Then a new question comes up in his mind. What should he do now? He checks his status window and sees his skills again. Powerful abilities, but no combat skill at all. It is frustrating, because money alone will not keep him safe in the tower. This place follows a simple rule. The strong survive, and the weak are consumed. No one who enters can leave. Not even with powerful abilities. Only goods and information can cross the boundary. Realizing this, Kim understands he has a lot to do if he truly wants to succeed. A little drunk, he encourages himself, saying if he already endured thousands of deaths, then surviving and rising from here should be possible. Just as he steals his resolve, the bell on the tavern door rings, and someone new walks in. So, at first, Kim honestly does not care when someone new walks into the tavern. Because, really, how impressive can a hunter be if they are drinking in a place like this? But then, the mood suddenly changes. People start whispering, and the entire bar goes quiet, like everyone is holding their breath. That is when Kim finally looks over and sees an old man wearing an expensive black suit. He looks like a normal office worker. White shirt, red tie. Nothing special except for one thing: bright red sneakers, which feels completely out of place. And on top of that, his drink order is strange. 2 warm, milk mixed, with vodka and honey. The bar owner is clearly confused, but still serves him. Everyone keeps staring, and Kim realizes this man must be famous. But strangely, he cannot remember who he is, which bothers him because Kim knows the names of almost every top ranked hunter, thanks to his jealousy. After thinking for a while, it finally clicks. Kim remembers seeing this man's face on an old article back in his room. The missing sword saint, the strongest hunter of a past era, someone who disappeared long ago. And suddenly, Kim understands this is the past, truly the past, because this man is standing right in front of him, alive and well. Someone, even the Flame Emperor, once looked up to Kim. Keeps staring, not because he wants to, but because it feels unreal. And then a thought hits him hard. This man should have powerful combat skills, real ones, not strange abilities like Kim's. And right at that moment, without even thinking, Kim's S-rank skill appears in front of him, the skill that copies abilities after death. And suddenly, everything connects. Kim realizes something terrifying and amazing at the same time, because his copied skill only requires him to die. And thanks to his other ability, it comes back. That means in theory, he could copy skills endlessly, even from the strongest people alive. Kim feels a chill run down his spine as he looks at the Sword Saint's back. And for the first time since everything began, he feels something new. Not anger, not fear, but excitement. Because maybe his hunt is not over yet. So Kim starts looking up information about the Sword Saint on his phone. But honestly, it is pretty useless. Most of it is rumors, like how he came from a rich family, entered the tower alone, and likes to mutter to himself. There is nothing concrete about his skills, which is the complete opposite of the Flame Emperor, whose information is everywhere. While Kim is scrolling, he suddenly realizes something funny, because the rumor about muttering seems to be true. When he looks over, the Sword Saint is sitting alone, talking to himself, while drinking his strange milk vodka. It is honestly kind of creepy. And Kim even wonders if the strongest hunter of the past might be mentally unstable, but at the same time, that does not change the fact that this man stands at the very top, and that is all Kim needs. Soon the Sword Saint finishes his drink and leaves the tavern. The tension instantly disappears, and everyone relaxes. But Kim is different. Instead of staying, he quickly pays and follows him outside. Thanks to the Sword Saint's strange outfit, it is easy to track him. Kim's heart is racing as he follows from a distance, thinking about what kind of skill the Sword Saint might have. If the Flame Emperor had such a broken ability, then the Sword Saint's skill could be just as insane, maybe even better. They leave the busy streets and walk into a quiet, open area outside the city. Suddenly, the Sword Saint stops and calls Kim out directly, making it clear he noticed being followed the whole time. Kim steps out and politely greets him. But instead of calming down, the Sword Saint seems even more alert, holding onto his sword as if ready to strike at any moment. Then out of nowhere, the Sword Saint accuses Kim of being an assassin sent by a guild, which completely confuses Kim. But honestly, this misunderstanding works in Kim's favor, because his goal was to be ended by the Sword Saint anyway. When Kim tries to explain the sword, Saint shuts him down and reveals the reason. He has a skill that lets him see how many people someone has ended. And when Kim hears that, everything clicks. Earlier that day, Kim ended one person, and on top of that, he ended himself thousands of times to return to the past. All of those count. Meaning, in the Sword Saint's eyes, Kim looks like someone who has ended over 4,000 people. When the Sword Saint says the number out loud, Kim is completely shocked. This is no longer about copying a skill. This means that from now on, if the Sword Saint ever sees Kim again, he will always try to end him. Before Kim can properly react or explain himself, the Sword Saint decides there is no reason to listen anymore, and swings his sword toward Kim at terrifying speed, ending the chapter right as Kim realizes he has walked into a situation far more dangerous than he expected.